Yo, what's up? I'm not trying to be mean or upset or anything. I'm kind of just tired of hearing this question, and I think I'll put this myth to bed because this is a myth. This is I don't know where this. I'm not sure where this question even originated from or where it's coming from. I think I probably did a really, really poor job of explaining this part of my explaining this in my videos. I guess I don't know. I must really did a poor job explaining it, but I'm just kind of getting tired of answering this question because I've answered it so many times already, and I'm just at the point now is like I must did a real and it must be me because it has to be me because I think I did a real poor job explaining this part to everybody, and I'm talking about these things. When you put ink in your cis and it runs through the lines, and the ink sitting in the line. People keep asking me, what you do about the ink in the lines? I'm not gonna lie to you. I might slap myself or slap somebody to ask me that question again. Because I might have did a really poor job of explaining that. I'm not gonna slap nobody, but I might slap myself though. So let me explain this. Let me put this myth to bed. Hopefully, finally, I'll never answer it. Hopefully, I don't have to answer this question again. And if somebody asks me, I'm gonna literally just in the reply, I'm just gonna post this video, point them directly to this video because it's a myth. It's not even real. Now, they keep asking me, what you do? Here's a question. So how do you keep the ink in your lines from clogging or freezing or whatever explanation they want to come up with? I don't do anything. I don't have to. I don't need to. I have no reason to. There's absolutely, let me say this, there is zero reason for you to worry about the inks in these lines. Zero. None. Nada. There's not one reason somebody can come up, and I'm not talking excuses. I'm talking actual reasons. Actual reasons. This is no different from this. Yes, when I'm done, you're gonna see what I mean by this. Having ink in here is no different from having ink in here. Pay attention very closely. Because this is gonna go over a lot of your heads. You might have to watch this video 2 or 3 times to get it. But pay attention. I'm gonna try to explain this very slowly. I'm gonna go very slow. I'm gonna slow down. But I really need y'all to pay attention. Because when I'm done, I'm gonna bring it right here. You're gonna see how this is no different from this. Watch. And it's any one of these. I don't care which bottle you choose. Watch me. So, you get your cis. Right? You got your cis system. You put ink in it. Right? You cap it. You plug it. You don't even have to cap or plug it. I don't care if you put a plug in here. Because guess why you don't have to? So the ink that sits in here is a plug for here. Every ounce of ink that sits, let me grab this one. Every ounce of ink that sits right here plugs the entire length of this line. If you put this in some water and you put this in some water and you try to pull air or try to check this for air, you find out this actually is vacuum sealed by 2 ends if you put both of these things in water. You're literally sealing it. You're literally locking off the ends. It's like plugging the ends with just water. Just have them submerged in tubs of water. This is actually now sealed. You're actually creating a sealed environment by plugging these 2 ends in 2 tubs of water. That's what the ink does in here. You're literally plugging the ends of these lines by having liquid sitting in these systems, in these bottles. Okay, remember, all the way to the very bottom of this, that's where this plug sits. Okay, the start of this plug sits at the very bottom of this, and this is going to be filled with ink. If you keep this empty, that's on you. But mine's always full with ink. Always have ink in here. All right? And I don't know any person in their right mind is going to keep this thing empty. All right? That's number one. Number two, there's always going to be ink in these lines. Always. Unless you're crazy and run it dry and never fill it. And then that's on you, not me, because I always have ink in my lines. I don't know anybody's going to keep their lines empty. But if you do, again, that's on you, not me. Okay? Ink in the lines. And everywhere ink sit in these lines, think about this thing. Use the thing up here for 5 seconds. Remember, sit in a tub of water. Everywhere there's a block, everywhere there's... Now, if this end sitting in a tub of water, you take this out, this end out, sitting in the water, you take this end out. Everywhere, every inch, there's a blockage of water. Everywhere there's a ounce of liquid just sitting here. That's a seal. So everything beyond that where that water stops is a seal for the rest of the system. All right. So if you take it, you hold it up, right? If you do this just right. So if you have these two things, if you know anything how gravity works, if you have both of them level like this, the water will sit practically level on each side. Now you do this and pick one side up, the excess is going to come out on this side, right? Well, there's the other piece, the other rest of it is going to be somewhere down here somewhere, based on how low this one sits. So the other piece, the other is going to be about right there, right? Well, from here all the way down to the other side is still sealed. Still a sealed system. A bottle with a cap, lock, sealed shut on it. That's what that is. If you leave that there, this sealed, if this top piece ever dries, which if you take it out, if you take this out, I don't have time to prove this to you. You can do it try yourself. Take some hose, let the ink on top dry. Let the ink on top dry, and I guarantee you, take a pin, put a hole in here, and squeeze it, the ink in the middle is going to just pour, comes gushing right out. Because all you did was put a cap on the two ends. No different from a bottle. That's all you did. Now, the only problem you have to worry about, again, just a myth. Only problem you have to worry about is the white inks. This stupid thing. And this is why I keep talking about white inks. If you notice, in almost all my videos, I keep talking about white inks. This thing. This stupid white ink. And it's not stupid. I call it stupid, that's just my thing. I call it stupid, but it's not stupid. But this white ink is the problem. Depending on the manufacturer ink you use, the only thing that will happen to your white ink, it will actually change color. That's it. It will only change color. Now, I've heard someone say their color ink changed color. That's also based off the manufacturer you buy your ink from. Some of these inks are not fully water-based, and I think that's a problem. All right. So I think the water-based ones, the ones that are more water-based, like Epson, they're supposed to be water-based, mostly water-based, and I think they don't change color. That's what I think. That's what I think this one is, because this one don't change color. This is why I'm really liking this ink so much. I think it's more water based than anything else. That's why I really like this ink. It hasn't changed color. It's been sitting in my. I've been testing this. This is the ink I've been testing the most so far. This and the Splendor one and the Exilio. These guys. Where's the name at? No, not this one. Sorry, wrong bottle. This bottle. These guys. These two. All right, I've been trying these two inks, and these two inks, they really haven't changed much. All right, they haven't really changed colors. This is what I keep saying. Manufacturers of inks really makes a difference. The ink you use truly will make or break your DTF experience. This is why you see me making so much ink videos, and I can't stop making ink videos because there's now back to this. Yes, back to this again. Because I'm not done yet. Now that we get the basics out of the way, I hope I explained. I hope I got the basics out of the way. Now here is the part that most tend to forget about this sys system. Why I do not have a stirrer, or I don't care to have a stirrer. I have one now because the set I bought, the system I bought now comes with one. I didn't care if it had one. If it had one, if it didn't have one, I honestly didn't care. It just had one, so I just have it. Didn't care. I'd go in there and take the bottle and shake it up for all I care. Didn't matter to me none. And like I said, this ink haven't changed color. It looks kind of yellow on the bottle. It's because when I was doing this yellow ink, it got all over my gloves and it's on the outside of the bottle. But the ink itself have not changed color. With this Exilio, I keep grabbing the wrong box. This Exilio hasn't changed color either. And as much as I'm not really a fan of Sindel's ink since they've been changing their ink so much, I really hope they've gotten their stuff together, because the first time I bought Sindel ink it was pretty good, and I don't know what happened somewhere in between the middle. But I really hope they got their stuff together again. I'm gonna have to buy from them again soon. Anyways, I have a different brand I'm gonna buy next, and then eventually I'll buy from them again, Sindel, and see what's going on. But their white inks didn't really change color either, so you can try them out, see if they work for you. But their white inks never really changed color either. I don't know what their new stuff is doing, but I know their old white inks didn't change color either. Okay. Now, back to this. All right. Now to explain what's going on with the sys system, and you need to think about this logically. When you put this thing, ink tanks filled with ink, caps. If you plug your system, I plug mine when I'm not gonna print. When I finish printing for the day or I'm not using my printer, I literally plug top and back holes. I plug them all. It's just a habit for me. I plug them all because I like to plug the system up because I'm not using it. That's just a habit I have. It doesn't affect it any way, shape, or form. It's just something I do because I just like the system when I'm not using it to seal it. I like to seal it like it's sitting in the bottle. It's just a habit. And I've been doing it and it's worked great. So I just make it a habit and just keep doing it. I think about it like this. If it lasts long and the bottle's airtight sealed, then I want to do this same thing in my sys system. So I plug all the holes, all the air holes, to make this system as sealed as I could possibly get it, so the ink never goes bad. And that's my new system. I do the same thing. This is why my new system I put on don't have holes in it either. I didn't want one with holes because I don't want the inks to go bad. It's just a thing with me. It's my thing. You can do what you want to do, but that's just my thing. All right. Like I said, I want to keep it like it's in the bottle when I'm not using it. I don't print very often. I don't have a business. I don't sell stuff pre-sale. I don't do all that other stuff. So when I print like I haven't printed again like almost 2 days. So I need to make sure I'm doing this. All right. So plug all this. You don't have to. Again, this is not required. This is just something I do. Now, you plug it up. Ink sitting here. Okay. Ink sitting here. It's sealing this off. This is airtight. Airtight. All the way down. All the way. Guess where this connects to? Yeah. Your print head. Guess what? Guess. Now, here's the good part. It goes to your print head, right? It don't even go into your print head. It goes into a reservoir. It goes into some, what they call them, ink chamber. I don't know what the words they use for them. But those things are filled with inks too. Yes. And those goes to a chamber that also gets filled with ink. So there's no possible air in those chambers at all. There's no way for your lines to get air in them. No way, no how. So these lines will never clog. If they clog, it's because you put a hole in one of these lines somewhere. Let me say this again. If your ink lines clog, there's a hole in one of your lines somewhere. And you might want to find it and replace the lines. Because I have never had one of these lines clogged. And I know I'll never have one unless there's a hole in my lines. And honestly, I will never have a clog. You know what I probably have? I spring a leak before I get a clog. I just noticed my ink chamber going empty and wondering where the hell my ink's going before I get a clog. The only thing you have to worry about in these lines, and again, it's only the white, and depending on your manufacturer, the colors may actually change color. And that's a huge depends. Because the colors really don't change color that much unless your manufacturer of the ink you're using, just how they manufacture the ink. It's just how they manufacture the ink. And I can sit here and tell you that all day, but you don't. It's up to you if you want to believe me or not. I can just give you the information. In my experience, I've never had a problem. Not once. And you see how much days I go without printing. How much days I went without even touching my sys system. So it's a myth. You can accept the fact that it's a myth, or you can keep worrying about it. Choice is yours. All right? Peace.